Hi everyone, it's me. I'm here. I'm here trying to think of where to start. Um, that game was embarrassing. I think is a good place to start. Um, Embarrassing is a good place to start. I want to preface this entire conversation by saying that Carson Wentz played like absolute dog shit yesterday. He looked horrible. That being said, I still think the idea of benching him for Jalen Hurts, by the way, again, I think I've said this once or twice since I've been doing this, but if you hear, it's super duper windy out. So if you hear stuff, it's probably the wind. It's like to the point where every once in a while my car will rock back and forth. So if you hear something, it's probably the wind. I'm still not in favor of benching Wentz for Jalen Hurts. I'm just not. And I don't think any amount of bad play from Wentz this season will convince me otherwise. I'm not in favor of bringing in Jalen Hurts because I don't think Jalen Hurts will do anything to solve this offense. And what in the hell is the point of bringing in a guy who I don't think is going to do anything? It's not like this is Joe Burrow sitting on the sidelines, right? It's not like this is Justin Herbert sitting on the sidelines. I'm just not sure. And you know what? I guess who knows? Maybe he is, but I'm not sure I see it, and I'm not sure. So let's take a step back. As a friend of mine who's a Cowboys fan, he reposted something on Facebook from like three and a half years ago. It was right after Wentz's ACL tear, and said that Wentz was never going to be good again after the ACL tear. And this kid reposted it today, and the kid I'm referring to didn't post that, but he was reposting from the person who did say that. And he reposted that this morning. And he said, Eagles fans, is it time to admit that this guy was right? I said, no, because Wentz really wasn't all that bad last year. And he wasn't bad the first year coming off the ACL tear. I mean, he was a little rusty in that Colts game, which we ended up winning anyway. And he ended up getting hurt again, the whole back thing. But that's not skill level. That's just he got hurt. So I said, no, he's having a down year. Sometimes it happens. And this kid posted a picture, a tweet of a bunch of stats about Wentz to try and prove his point. And those stats were, the interception numbers, the fumble numbers, the number of sacks he's taken, which is most in the NFL. Times he's been hit, which was, I believe, by a decent bit the most in the NFL. And I don't know, there were a couple other stats, and I can't remember what they were. But I just now, before I started recording this, so I'll see what he says. But I replied to him. I said, look, that's great. Now look at those numbers and talk to me about an offensive line play. We're in, was this week 11 that we just finished? I think it's week 11 that we just finished. Week 11, and Carson Wentz has been hit over 50 times. And I am not sure if yesterday's game was included in that stat. It very well might not have been. So let's just say that yesterday's game wasn't in that. He's been hit. Am I thinking of... Actually, I'm trying to remember the numbers now. And actually, I can't remember the numbers. Whatever it was, he's been hit a bunch of times. And he's been sacked an absolute ton of times. And there's the turnovers. And I said, look, how many quarterbacks are you aware of that can have offensive line play that piss poor, be hit that many times, be sacked that many times, and still be successful? Aaron Rodgers, maybe? But there were years... Well, no, I guess the years the Packers were bad and Rodgers was injured. Russ, he did it for years. But what I'm saying is, aside from a couple of exceptions, that was Cleveland. That was one of Cleveland's big problems. Now, I'm not saying that Baker and Wentz are the same quarterback, because obviously they're not. But Cleveland's biggest problem last year, the couple games that I watched, was pass protection. Baker never got time to hold on to the ball. So he got hit a bunch, sacked a bunch, and he threw some picks because he was under duress all season. Every game, every season, he was under duress. That's going to lead to turnovers because you're under duress, you're getting hit. The pick six yesterday from Taki. Wentz got hit in the back as he was letting go of that ball. Yeah, chances are it's going to float high and get picked off. That's what happens when you get hit in your blind side. It's just, I don't understand how people watch that play. Oh, that was Wentz's fault. My man's got hit in the back. Like, you try and do that shit. I couldn't do it. And I bet 90% of the people talking shit couldn't do it either. I'm moving. I'm keeping an eye on my time. I have a shorter break today because I have to go get a flu shot, so I have to leave early. Now, people have been saying they've been posting this picture of Jalen Reagor, who looks like he's fairly open down the middle of the field, and they're saying, well, Wentz should have just thrown it here. Reagor's open. Couple things there. Not every quarterback is not going to see every open receiver every single time. Brady didn't do that. Rodgers doesn't do that. I've watched games where I'm watching the field and watching Russell Wilson saying, oh my God, you've got a tight end wide open 20 yards down the field. The greatest quarterbacks in history, you know what? Sometimes they miss people. Sometimes they don't see it. Especially when they're getting bull rushed all game long. Because their offensive line cannot protect them. So he went to go to the check down, got hit in the back. Threw the pick six. Now people will say, you know what? He still should have thrown the ball to Reagor. First off, in the picture that I've seen most, Rager's not even looking for the ball. His back is to Wentz. He's angling towards the sideline. And it's not even that his back is to Wentz. He's not looking over his shoulder. He's not looking for the ball. And the picture that I've seen more often than not, Rager's starting to turn around. And people are saying, oh, throw the ball there. Rager's turning around. Throw the ball there. Here's the kicker. the picture that most people are showing is a bit compressed. If you see the actual image from the TV screen that's fully expanded, and I have it, and I'm going to tweet it later, and I'm going to circle what I'm talking about, there is a safety looking directly at Reagor, practically waiting for that ball to be thrown. So, here's the thing. If Wentz throws that ball, guess what happens? It's a pick six, just from the safety instead of the linebacker. Wentz throws that. Wentz throws that ball, it probably gets picked off anyway. So what the hell's the point? It was a bad play. Wentz got hit. There was, I don't understand what people want here. And I know that's only one example. And look, I'm not trying to say Wentz played a good game, because he most definitely did not. My point is, and this has been my point all season long, our offensive line has been bad. Even when it's been healthy, it hasn't really been that good. Lane Johnson got absolutely annihilated on multiple times yesterday. The O-line's been bad. It's just been bad. I don't understand what people think bringing in Jalen Hurts will do to help the situation. I just don't see it. It'd be different if Wentz had been on this team for 10 years and we drafted Hurts legitimately thinking he could be our future quarterback after Wentz left. I suppose I'm not Howie Roseman. I don't actually know this for a 100% fact, but I really don't think that was the case. I don't think we did not draft Hurts as Carson Wentz's replacement. That's not why we drafted him. So, what the hell is the point of putting him in? It'd be different like in Miami. They benched Fitzpatrick, eventually put in Tua, because Tua's the future. You start getting him reps. That's what you do. That's not what Jalen Hurts is. So I don't understand why I don't understand why people want to put him in so bad. What do you think you're going to see? You think Hurts is going to come in next week and beat Seattle? No, he's not. He's going to get hit just as much as Carson Wentz. He's probably going to... How many snaps has he been on this year? Doesn't he have at least 2 fumbles? And he's been in on what, like 5% of the offensive snaps this season? Hey, come on, people. I really don't understand where people's mindset is. Yes, Wentz has been bad. He has been very, very bad this year. What's Hurts going to do? And I have not had anybody explain to me what Hurts is going to do for this offense. The closest thing to an explanation I have gotten, I've been told to fuck off numerous times. I've been called a bitch numerous times, yada, 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 because people don't have an actual fucking explanation. The only remote explanation I've gotten from people is, well, why don't we just put him in and see what we have? We have a gadget player. I know what we have. Now, the Saints put in Taysom Hill yesterday, and sounds like he did pretty well. A little bit of a different story because Taysom Hill has been in that offense for years now. He knows the offensive scheme very, very well. I'm not sure Hurts is there yet. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard it. I haven't been given it. The only explanation I have been given is put Hurts in just because Wentz is bad. Okay, but why is Hurts going to be any better? I haven't heard it yet from fans, and I really haven't heard a good reasoning from any of the writers either. I just haven't heard it. I'm not in favor of benching Wentz at any point during the season. I'm just not, and I'm not in favor of doing it next year either. I'm just not. And I no amount of anything is going to change my mind on that this season, for sure. Next season, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I really, really wish we had a preseason this year, so we could have seen Hurts play some. I really wish we'd have had a preseason, because maybe people wouldn't be clamoring for him as much, or who knows? Maybe they would have. Maybe Hurts would have come out in preseason and looked like a god. Who knows? I wish we would have had a preseason. Not in favor of benching Wentz. Offensive line was. I already touched on it. They've been bad all year, but they were brutal yesterday. You get offensive line play that bad, you're going to get turnovers. You're going to get sacks. You're going to get to people bitch about the sacks like they're all Wentz's fault. Now, I'm not saying there haven't been a couple of them where Wentz really, really needs to get rid of the ball. But good Lord, if he had protection, there was a play at one point yesterday, the touchdown to Richard Rodgers. And I was like, Wentz actually was protected. He had time in the pocket to scan the field, set his feet, throw the ball. It was a touchdown to Richard Rodgers. And I was like, yeah, see what happens when he actually has some time in the pocket to scan the field and set his feet? What an idea. I know I tweeted this, but it's worth mentioning twice. There were literally 2 bright spots yesterday. The entire game, there were 2 bright spots. Richard Rodgers and Alex Singleton. Alex Singleton had a hell of a game. And you know what? I've been singing Richard Rodgers praises for weeks now. So there's nothing new there on my end. I'm just oh man, this team sucks, people. This team is bad. The offense is bad, the defense is bad. The offense, half the time they don't even look like they want to be there. Peterson's play calling has been atrocious. And that goes into Wentz's struggles too, I think. Peterson's play calling has been absolutely atrocious this year, and I'm not quite sure what happened, because I didn't think it was all that bad last year. Not nearly like it was this year. I really don't know what else to say. This team sucks. The only reason we're still in first place in the division is because we have a tie. So we're 3-6-1 instead of 3-7. Every other team in the division is 3-7. Oh, this division is an embarrassment. You know who's going to win this division, don't you? It's. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be Washington. If their defense keeps playing like they are, and Alex Smith comes back into form, Washington's going to win this division. I don't think we can beat Washington. I really don't. This Eagles team, I don't think they can beat Washington. Hell, if Dalton plays well, I'm not convinced we can beat the Cowboys either. We've already shown we can't beat the Giants. We sure as hell aren't going to beat Seattle and New Orleans and Green Bay. That's for damn sure. Or Arizona. We're not winning those games. I honest to God, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'd be surprised if we win another game this season. I'm not typically one of those depressing, angry fans, but I'm just being honest. I wouldn't surprise me if we don't win another game this season. That's all I've got. I really need to get back to work here in like a couple minutes, so I'm just going to cut this here. This team, I'm going to keep watching them because I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep watching them, keep rooting for them, but this team sucks, man. It really does. All right, I'll see you kids later. Y'all have a good day.